Hey everybody, welcome back to Sunday Supper Club episode number 5 with your man Johnny Guitar Morgan and my main man
Theo, Surf Rider Wiles.
What episode are we on?
Episode 5?
What?
Can I get a high five for episode 5?
Absolutely.
How about it?
Man, unbelievable. I can't believe we're already episode 5. So exciting. We're getting such great feedback. So many people are enjoying the show, enjoying the editing. Most importantly, enjoying sharing it with their family and friends. And speaking of that, I know you just had a little experience with your mom and the udon noodles. What happened?
I was over at the folks' house, laying down in the guest room, and when you sent it to me, I sent it to them. There's a little thread. And I would say just in about the amount of time that it would take to watch that, here comes Mom. I can hear her coming across the house. And I'm just laying in the bed, and she comes in the room. She started asking all kinds of questions about the udon. She likes udon, right?
Oh, man.
And one of the things she said was, "What was in that bowl?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, I mean, was there some spice in that bowl?" Or something. I said, what are you talking about? And so we looked at it and said, "What is that? What is that?" I was like, "Those are just little paint flecks, decorations." But Mom's on it, man. She's an assassin in the kitchen. She's like, "Oh, I was wondering if it was some kind of spice or some kind of extra."
Yeah.
I said, "No, it's just paint."
Better known as the high-end dishes. Right? The special dishes. So we only use that for Sunday Supper Club. So you guys should feel very privileged. But this week we got another awesome recipe. We're on the sweet episode, right?
Yeah.
So what are we doing today?
Roman breakfast cake.
Oh my God. I cannot wait for you to try this one. Like I told you earlier, I've only made it a couple of times. So let's hope all goes well and it tastes as good as I remember.
Okay.
With that said, I want to go ahead and get started. So we went ahead and started the oven, heated it up to 350. Always good to make sure that you get that going while you're starting to do the other things. So I think we're ready. We're set up for success. Is there anything else we need to do?
What about wash your hands?
Oh, yes,
Did you wash your hands?
I did.
Let me smell. Let me check. Oh! Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It smells like soap.
All right. So we're going to get started. First thing we got to do is you need one of these, a cake pan of some sort, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to put a glove on.
This is the bunt cake?
Yeah, it's a bun cake, that's right. And with this recipe, actually you don't want one of those pans that has like a million different nooks and crannies. This is actually perfect, as you'll see when it's done. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna grease the whole thing with butter. So just grease that whole bad boy up nice and good. All right, so you literally wanna grease the entire thing. I mean, literally, you can't do too much because these cakes are a little bit sticky, and last thing you want is for it to get stuck anywhere on the dish itself. So I think we're looking pretty good.
It's looking pretty greasy.
Yeah, that's what we want. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna lightly coat it with some flour. And this can be really messy, so you're gonna wanna do this over the sink. But see, what's gonna happen is once you get it dusted up good, then you're gonna actually dump out most of it. So yeah, it's wasted flour, but that's basically what it's gonna look like when you're done. So that's it. All right, step 2. We're gonna whisk together some flour, baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. All right, so we're gonna do 1.5 cups of flour, and then we need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which I thought I got a teaspoon out, which I did, right, chump?
You really have. You know why? Because you were set up for success.
I was.
Yeah. And see how I went into the drawer?
All right, Theo,
Salt.
you're taking over now. How much salt do we need? We
Half a
need
teaspoon?
a 1/2 teaspoon. So,
Okay.
all right, so now we need a whisk. And we just want to whisk that all together. So whisk that up nicely. All right. I think we've done that before.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to set that aside. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this. We are going to grab that.
Pretty pumped when I saw this today.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is they want you to use one of those really special big old bowls with the hand paddles and whatnot, and I don't have one, so
okay.
this
Talking like
just
commercial
shows
grade
you,
kitchen
yeah,
action?
exactly.
Okay.
But see, you don't need that. That's what this whole show is about, right? Like we told you last time, no fancy pans, no fancy pants. All right, so we're gonna beat the egg whites and the remaining 1/4 teaspoon of salt on medium high. All right, now we need to go ahead and separate the egg whites from the yolks. This is important to try really hard not to get any of the yolk in with the whites as much as possible. It just creates a little bit of a mess when you're trying to whip the whites up. And Theo, you can see, has his own hand method. You've heard of like hand fishing and all kind of hand things that we're not going to say on the program. But
just gotta open the fingers.
Who does that, right? I don't know. And luckily, he did wash his hands.
Yeah,
I think.
Look at that, man! Come on,
that's beautiful.
I'm like a sushi chef over here. We're getting ready to get some quail eggs.
All right. So like we always say, you can make a mess in the kitchen, right? What's the big deal? You got to clean it up. I mean, think about when you make bacon. There's no way to escape making a mess when you're making bacon, and it's greasy, it's a nightmare, but it's so good, you gotta do it. So hey, it is what it is. All right, so we got that done. Now we're moving on to, we're gonna be whipping that up. So, we're gonna put this on medium high, and we're just gonna whip this. We're gonna whip this for like 3 minutes straight, so we're not gonna bore you with that, so we'll be back in a little bit. All right, so he's been doing this for about 3 minutes. As you can see, you can turn that off. Now, what we want to see is we want to be able to see that it'll actually lift up like little peaks in here. So, like it's got to be where that'll pop up. You see that? How it's super...
Staying all up in
there. Yeah, you see that? You kind of want it like that. So, that's good. Now, what we want to do is we want to transfer that into here. All right, so those are super ready to rock. We can make any kind of little peaks and valleys with that. We're gonna wanna now transfer that into another bowl and just let it sit while we are doing the rest of what needs to be done for this recipe. 1.5 cups of sugar. So we got a cup and a half. All right, then just start zesting that lemon up in there. I already washed it. And yeah, you're gonna do the whole thing. So many things have awesome lemon zest in them. It just adds that texture to it. Wait till you smell this after we start mixing it all together. It smells so good. All right, now as you can smell, it smells so good when you mix just lemon with sugar. It reminds you of lemonade or all the other yummy things that we like with lemon and sugar. All right, so that's ready to rock. Add the yolks.
Okay.
And then we're gonna beat that thing up, all up, and we're gonna do that for 3 minutes. So we'll be back. All right, it's been about 3 minutes. That part of it's done. Now what we wanna do is add a 1/2 cup of canola oil and continue to beat that for another 3 minutes. So we'll be back. All right, so we went another 3 minutes after adding the canola oil. Now what we want to do is 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and then we want about 1/4 teaspoon of lemon extract. Be careful with that because it's super strong.
While the viewers were not looking, and when you had your back turned, I did a little sampling.
All right.
It's nice.
How are those raw eggs?
Hey man, I was harnessing my inner Rocky Balboa.
All right, so we're gonna add some lemon juice also. Lots of mixing on this recipe, but let me tell you, when it's done, it's worth it.
I kind of feel like Sir Mix-a-Lot right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I like big cakes and I cannot lie.
Absolutely. All right, let's add
Lemony fresh, man.
yes, sir. All right, beautiful. All right, now we're gonna add the dry ingredients. So again, you just wanna make sure they're all mixed up nice. We're gonna dump that in here.
Get back to mixing, boy.
Now, what you wanna do is you wanna pulse it so that it doesn't make a mess. You wanna pulse it until it starts incorporating. No, not yet. Okay.
We'll have to turn it on a little first, right? I'm pulsing.
We accidentally eject them. All right, so mix that up. We're gonna mix that until it becomes smooth and thick. So now that you've got it kind of incorporated, now you can really just go ahead and start just mixing it all up. So we're gonna keep mixing that until it's pretty smooth and pretty thick. You wanna get all the stuff off the sides. It's good to use one of these to get kind of some of the stuff that's sticking on the sides. You can mix it all in really well.
It's getting thick, man.
Yeah. We want it nice and smooth. Smooth and thick.
It's kind of mesmerizing.
So these are already good, but what happens when you have your egg whites sitting, they actually have a little moisture on the bottom. So you just want to take a whisk and kind of whisk them up again real quick. How does this come along? All right,
Is it smooth?
Yeah, just keep
Is
on.
it thick?
Make sure it's all incorporated, all the flour.
I definitely feel like it's thick enough. I wonder if it's smooth enough.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the egg whites and we're just going to incorporate some of them. So we're going to put, anyway, you're going to mix them in, incorporate them in, but not mix them up too hard, right? So once that's done, do that a little bit more, just a little bit of incorporation. Fold them gingerly. Yeah, so be careful, don't mix, just fold. And then what you're doing is you're just folding it. So folding, you're just going to be like that. Just like you're making almost like bread almost.
Okay.
Just fold it in. This is what makes it so light and airy. Okay, so we'll be right back. We're gonna cut some berries and put them in here in 1 second. See you in a second. All right, we folded in the egg whites, but before you fully incorporate them, you wanna then add your berries, about 1.5 cups of whatever berries you want to use. And you just wanna, again, kind of start to incorporate them into the batter.
We said raspberries, but they're actually black.
Did I say it again?
Blackberries.
Blackberries.
Should I start the folding process?
Yes, just fold it real gently. All right, so we're folding them in. Let me take a look at that real quick. We are pretty much done, man. All right, so then what we're doing is we're gonna go ahead and put them into the pan. And we wanna get it all the way around, make sure it's even as possible, and we can obviously make it more even once it's in there. So then you just want to make sure that it's, you know, it's even all the way around so that it comes out in the right shape. And once that is done, then we pop it in the oven, baby.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Put it on the middle rack of the oven, and we're going to cook that for 45 to 50 minutes. When we're going to take it out, we want to stick a toothpick in it and make sure that it comes out dry. That's when we know that it's done. So
okay.
We'll be back in 50 minutes. See you then. All right, welcome back. It's been about 45 minutes, so we need to check on this cake. We're gonna dip this toothpick in there to make sure it comes out clean. That's when you know it's done. Okay. So let's take a look. Look at that. Woo!
Yay!
Stick it into the fat part. You pull it out and you can see it's clean.
Nice and
so
clean.
That's ready.
So fresh.
So let's take it out. That's what it should look like, right? But again, you want to test it with the toothpick and make sure that it comes out clean. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick it on a rack and we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes before we begin to take it out and then plop it on the rack to let it cool, because you want to serve this at room temperature. So 5 minutes, we'll be back. All right, it's been 5 minutes. So now what we want to do is we want to take the actual cake out. So what you want to do is you want to kind of run this along the side just to make sure it's not sticking. As you can see, we did a great job.
Yeah, we did butter.
Yeah, we did a great job making sure that that doesn't happen, because the last thing you want to do is not to be pretty. So then what we want to do is take this and we're going to flip this baby right on over. So let's do that. Oh, yeah, right. All right, so that's flipped. And then you hope it comes out just like that.
Boom, baby, look at that, nice.
Look at that.
Oh man, it smells so nice.
Yeah, so thank goodness I didn't cook it any longer, because you can see it's starting to get a little more brown than you might like it, but hopefully it's gonna be absolutely perfect. So now we just need to let it sit and become room temperature. And then we are going to have the taste tester extraordinaire give it a try. But last thing I wanted to tell you guys for this episode is, first of all, look at these amazing new shirts, right? We use Printful for our shirts, so shout out to Printful. Really makes it easy just to jump on there, grab the logo, put it on any color. With this shirt in particular, they've literally got like 30 different colors. So expect a lot of new ones coming. Next thing I want to do is thank my buddy Ed Ash. I've known Ed since I was literally like 14 years old, and he's the one that got me interested in playing guitar.
Yeah.
So Johnny Guitar Morgan, that's part of it. And he saw that we have an old, yucky spoon that I've been using for decades.
What's up with
so
that?
he bought us a new one. So we got
Thank
a
you,
new
Ed.
spoon. Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, man.
And then let's not forget about your friend.
Buck Sports. Yeah, it's
Who got
Deb
that?
Eisen's. Buck's mom. She's a teacher at my school.
Yeah, it
It's
was awesome.
through Deb Eisen, actually. I was friends with her. And that was really sweet of Deb to think of getting us a gift. She
Absolutely.
Also, Deb Eisen watches the show. So thank you, Deb. Thank you, Buck's mom.
Yeah, and as you can see, the Bucks board is part of the show now. So we're going to give this some time to cool down before we have the taste texture extraordinaire. Give it a try. So we'll be back, I would say, in like 20 minutes.
I got to say, this guy, man, he clothes me. He feeds me. I don't know what I'd do without you, man. Punch me in the face sometimes, you know.
We'll be back. All right, we have waited now for 20 minutes. What the heck is that? It's the banana phone.
Yep.
Hello. Yeah. You're looking for the taste tester extraordinaire? Okay, he's right here. Let me patch him in.
Hello? Who is it? Hello? Yeah. Yeah. No, man. Roman breakfast cake. No, I haven't. Huh? Well, I haven't tasted it yet. You're interrupting us. All right. I'll call you back. All right. I'll let you know. See ya. Bye.
Let's do it.
Okay. Vamos.
All right, let's cut this baby. It's good to use a serrated knife on this so you don't tear it up. And, you know, thin is good. Thin is good
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
for a little taste. All right, here we go, man. Still a little warmer than you want, but we want to get down to St. Pat's.
Roman breakfast cake. It's like pound cakey.
Yeah. Good?
Yeah, bro. Oh, man.
It's standards.
A little cup of coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
A little newspaper.
What?
High five for 5.
Wow.
Amaze balls, man. Good job.
Let's
Good job,
go,
John.
baby. Yeah, that is so good. And you hit the nail on the head. You wonder why it's called breakfast cake? Because when you take a bite of it, you think, I just need some nice coffee, a little tea.
Yeah.
Then next thing you know, you're coming back over and over and over again.
Breakfast turns into lunch.
Yeah. So listen, thank you so much for joining us for episode 5. Episode 6, don't forget, chicken tortilla soup is going to be outstanding. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. YouTube, Sunday Supper Club. Facebook, Sunday Supper Club. Instagram, Sunday Supper Club Global.
Hello.
And please try it.
You missed it, buddy. Sorry. I'll try to save you some.
All right.
I'll do my best.
We'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Woo!